What's up, O Squad? It is your girl Jackie O, and my apologies. I did not record a video last week, and I missed you guys a whole bunch. I see I got some new subscribers. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome to the O Squad. I know one of you all want to know some groups in Mexico to join, so I'm going to get online and I'm going to post some. Last week was just super crazy for me. I was on a road trip with my mama and my baby. Yes, both of them. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about today, about road tripping during COVID-19 with a toddler and a disabled senior citizen who don't really like to go nowhere. So if you guys are interested in it, if you guys, especially you guys who are like, Jackie, I ain't moving abroad quite yet. This COVID thing ain't over. I know you all over the place, but maybe I'll do a little trip here in the USA. So I'm going to break down some of the things that you need to know just to keep yourself safe. Again, guys, always check with like the CDC and see what their updates are. The WHO, so the CDC is the Center for Disease Control, and the WHO is the World Health Organization. They provide a lot of feedback and updated information about best practices to keep yourself safe. So I'm going to break it down and tell y'all all about last week, what we did, just a whole rundown. So stay tuned. And for those of you all new to my channel, my name is Jackie O. I am an OG, original Black digital nomad and globetrotting mama. I slow travel full time with my toddler daughter Ruth. Yes, y'all, I slow travel with a toddler, and it's kind of been that way since she's been 10 days old. And my whole channel, the Jackie O Life and website, is devoted to, let's see, educating, inspiring, uplifting, motivating, and most importantly, teaching and empowering Black women to either move abroad and or travel full time. And I always say and or travel full time because you can travel full time abroad, but you can also travel full time in the good old US of A, especially now during COVID. And last week I was in Florida. Now, y'all know, on the political spectrum, I'm pretty left. So for me to go to Florida was a lot because I'm like, these COVID-19 infected folks, but I mean, that's all of the United States. But as you guys know, I came back for a minute because for me it is very important as part of my overall life goals that my daughter Ruth have the same sort of relationship with her grandmother, my mother, that I had with my grandma Ruth. And so I always like to come back to the U.S. Now, it does hit me in tax ways. So you guys who want to live the overseas life but come back to the U.S. a lot, check with just a tax authority, because after you spend so many days in the U.S., especially if you don't earn a lot of your income in the U.S., the tax obligations become super real. But for me, it is super, super important that my daughter have a good relationship with her grandmother. And my mama, as much as I would love it, ain't about the full-time travel life. She likes her house. She's been in her house for over 50 years, and she ain't going nowhere. So my mama ain't going nowhere. So that means that I just got to come to her because, you know, you just got to be flexible. And I think to be able to travel full-time, you have to definitely be flexible. And the reality is that my lifestyle, I am fortunate and blessed enough, but intentional enough to have a lifestyle that I can be where both I want to be and also where I need to be. Now, while I was here in the United States, my aunt, my mom's younger sister, got super, super sick in Florida. Not COVID-19, but super sick, like life-threatening illness. Had to have an emergency surgery, etc. Now she is on the up and up, and my mom really did want to spend some quality time with her baby sister. And who am I to deny my mom, who's in her 70s, the opportunity to spend time with her sister, who was just sick, who was also in her 70s? But the reality is that my mama is high risk. She is disabled. She's over 60, well over 60. And she does have some underlying health issues as well. So that meant that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with her flying to Florida. Now, there's other places in the world that I probably wouldn't mind her flying, but Florida just ain't it. Like pretty much anywhere in the United States for me. Um, isn't necessarily that safe to fly to unless you absolutely have to. And that's just because of like, there's just so many people in this damn country who just are not obeying basic public health protocols that could help keep us all safe and help reduce the spread of COVID-19. And that's just keeping it hella real. And if you look at the cities and the states where COVID is on the rise, Florida had some issues there for a minute and they're kind of back on the up and up again. So I definitely wasn't necessarily that comfortable with my mother flying to Florida or flying by herself, although she has flown by herself before. She's definitely not a seasoned traveler at all, although she used to be, but right now, like, she's not. She's all about the stay-at-home life, which is fine. Like, you know what? You live on this earth for 70 years. Shoot, you live on this earth for 2 years. You got the right to live your life how you want to live it, and I am not here to judge how anybody lives their life. I just got this YouTube channel advising you on if you want to live a life of full-time travel or a life abroad. Here's how I did it. Here are some tips and resources for you to do it. But obviously, you can take that with a grain of salt and live your life how you want to live it, because I'm living my dream, and all that I wish for you is that you live yours. So my mama is definitely living the best retirement life that she knows how to live. Um, and then in addition, I got 2-year-old Ruth, who is pretty good about wearing masks, but at the same time, having a toddler and having a disabled senior citizen, taking them on a plane, that was going to be a no for me, at least to go to Florida. Now, if my mom was like, she wants to come with me when we leave again, we'd figure it out. We get some heavy duty masks, some N95s, and we'd figure it out, right? So I decided that I would drive her down there, which is my first tip for you guys. If you are traveling with a kid, especially a kid who may or may not wear a mask because they may or may not feel like it, and they may or may not have a tantrum if you try to keep them in a mask, or you're traveling with a high-risk person, or you're around a high-risk person a lot, I would say that at this point in time, again, talk to a medical professional as well, because I ain't one. The best way to travel is by car, and you can just see that kind of in the stats for Americans this summer. People are doing a lot of trips via car, doing camping, via outdoor stuff, and especially you folks in the Northeast and in the Midwest where it is starting to get cool and chilly out. My advice for you, particularly if you want to do, your kids are working remotely, you're working remotely, where your kids are learning remotely, you're working remotely, like, get in the car, drive some time, go somewhere that's a little bit warmer that you can get outside, maybe near a beach. Y'all don't know, I'm a beach person. I love water. I typically live by the water. Two things I love is water and gardening. So if y'all want to see my garden that I did this summer at my mama's house, I'm gonna show y'all. Maybe I'll put a couple little snippets in here. So that's my first tip. Just travel by car. It's a lot safer. I, as you guys know, have always been a person who part of the sharing economy. So from Pennsylvania to Florida is a long trip, even though it's going to northern Florida. So the Jacksonville area. We were in St. Augustine, Anastasia Island. If you guys have not been there, you should check it out. I will tell you a couple things. One is super white, like super, super white. So just know that. And every black person I met was like, oh yeah, we don't live here. We don't hang out here. But we'll talk about that a little bit later, okay? I'm just giving y'all a little preface, like Anastasia Island. St. Augustine is super white. So we drove down to Florida. We did it in 2 days for a couple reasons. One, 12 hours, 13 hours in a car is a very long time for baby Ruth and for my mom, by the way. And it's a long time for me to drive because I was doing most of the driving. Also, Ruth gets car sick. If you guys didn't know, if you guys want me to do a video about traveling with a kid who gets car sick or just motion sickness in general, so cars, planes, trains, all that good stuff, just comment in the comment box and I'll get it up there and just tell you kind of some of those experiences, what it's been like. But tip number one for that, pack more than 1 or 2 or 3 extra pairs of clothes for both yourself and for your baby or your children. So we did it. We stopped in, where did we overnight? And we overnighted in Charlotte in a hotel. Now, what I will tell you is that the chain that I have been most impressed with in terms of social distancing, in terms of sanitizing, have been the Hilton hotels. This ain't no sponsor post. Hilton ain't giving me no money, but Hilton, if you want to, I'm waiting. Holla at you, girl. So actually was really impressed, really impressed with the level of seriousness they've taken like this pandemic. I will say, driving through various states, and when I say I drove through like a lot of them, right? West Virginia, kudos to you, because at least everybody I interacted with in West Virginia was social distancing, had their mask on, yada 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 yada. South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, I see your numbers going up, and I know why. That's all I'm gonna say. Do better. Do better. Keep us all safe, especially Black people. Our numbers are the worst. Like, our health outcomes, just in general, in the United States, are pretty bad. And when it comes to COVID-19, they're horrible. So if you're a Black person and you refuse to wear a mask and you refuse to social distance, shame on you, because you know what your health outcome, if you get that COVID, what it's gonna be. Not pretty, not cute. So just do what you gotta do. It's a freaking mask. Like, why is that difficult? So then we get down to Florida. Now, I did an Airbnb. My mom didn't want to stay at my aunt's house. She just didn't want to inconvenience her. And my aunt has cats. My mama ain't a cat person. She's an old Black lady. She just don't do cats. They're actually my cousin's cats, because my auntie don't really like cats either, but my cousin likes them. That's a different story. She likes a lot of things that are interesting. But I love her. She's a good person. And we stayed, I was very particular. I wanted to stay near water. You guys know I'm a water person. I will put actually in the description box the link to the Airbnb. It was perfect. It was just the amount of isolation and kind of social distance. It was in a condo, but everything I wanted was in 10 minutes away in terms of like grocery store, etc. So this is our Airbnb. Lots of artwork, which I like. I like things that kind of tell you a little bit about the owners. It kind of reminds me of a San Francisco style apartment. As you can see, they're a little old timey, but that's okay too. I just like ones that have enough space. There's Ruthie Roo in one of the bathrooms. And there, of course, is a bedroom here. There's kind of the washer and dryer, pantry here. And this is the big room here. And here is for the reason I got it. This is a master bedroom, which also has its own suite. And you have a beautiful view of the ocean. You can have breakfast out here, which we plan to do. And the beautiful thing about staying in Airbnb, which is tip number 2, 3. I don't know, guys. Sometimes I just start talking and I lose track of what number I am. I should get Ruth in here to keep track, because she can at least keep us up to number 5, okay? Although she thinks she's 9 right now. Sometimes she'll tell you she's 2. I want to get her on a video. See what age she tells you guys. Maybe she'll be 2, maybe she'll be 9. It truly depends on what kind of mood she's in. Ruthie, how old are you?
No.
How old are you?
I.
Ruthie, will you tell me how old you are?
No.
So what I looked for in an Airbnb, now Airbnb is requiring all hosts to adhere to various sanitation and cleaning protocols. But I wanted something that wasn't in like a crowded area, wasn't in a high traffic area, was a condo with like a kitchen. Everyone, so it's a 3 bedroom. Everyone could have their own bedroom. Although Ruth never sleeps in her own bedroom, she always sleeps next to me. And I wanted my mom to be able to actually wake up and see the sunrise, and that's what I got. I'll show you guys some pictures of it. The condo was absolutely gorgeous. We did a lot of DoorDash and Uber Eats. And we also did a lot of cooking at home and spent an awful lot of time, which I'll show you guys in some of these videos, on the beach, just hanging out, chilling. We would either go to my aunt's house, practicing still some like social distance, or my aunt and her daughter and her granddaughter would all come to our place, and we would just hang out, and it was just a wonderful, peaceful time. I had Wi-Fi so I could do some work. As you guys saw last week, I didn't get a video out, so I didn't do that much. I also wasn't feeling well because I had just been doing a lot of work the week before. So I did use that time to just kind of chill and just relax and just have like a good and amazing time, because guys, if you get nothing from any of my videos or anything I say except this one thing, just remember, like, happiness and joy and all those things, those are intentional. Those are stuff you got to fight for each and every freaking day, because it is so easy to wake up and turn on CNN and turn on Fox. Although if you watch Fox, you probably don't watch me, but that's just a different story. And get like so disgusted, angry, resentful, sad, emotional, and anxiety filled about everything that's going on in the world. I mean, I'm still very tuned in. If you guys haven't seen what's happening in Nigeria, and as I tell you guys all the time, I'm a Yoruba girl, and I feel very connected to my culture and to my people in Nigeria. And to see what's happening right now with like in SARS, and just an extension of the Black Lives Matter movement, Black Lives Matter in Nigeria as well. And I have personally had negative interactions with SARS, which is the police, the special robbery police unit, special arms robbery unit in Nigeria, that is notoriously just brutal and just kills people and takes money from people. And you always got to, I mean, you've got to pay Nigerian police anytime they stop you anyway. But they just take it to a whole new level. If you're a girl who's pretty or dressed up, they assume you're a prostitute. If you're a guy with an iPhone, they assume you're some kind of embezzler or just not a good person, and they will lock you up for no reason. Now, I will say the good thing about me is speaking with like a U.S. accent kind of insulates me from a lot of the nonsense that a lot of other Nigerians face on a day-to-day basis. But trust, your girl's still hella woke and still definitely supporting all my fellow Nigerians who are out there protesting and getting bullets shot at them and all that other stuff. So in SARS, I'm very, very hopeful, as I think all of my fellow Nigerians are, that this is the beginning of a lot of social change and political change that needs to happen within Africa's most populous country, which is Nigeria. So guys, I'm saying a lot today, and this video was initially just supposed to be about road tripping on COVID-19 with, I guess, a toddler and a disabled senior citizen. My mama does not do social media at all, so y'all gonna see limited amounts of photos of her, and most of them will be from the back because Miss Nat don't play that. But like, again, guys, we kept in the car, and this is probably tip 3, 4, guys. I don't know. You tell me right in the comment box what tip I'm on. Was, of course, our face masks. Of course, we had some gloves. We had both Rubbermaid like gloves that you do mopping, like old black lady mopping style, and then we also had just disposable non-latex rubber gloves as well, which I made sure that my mom and I wore all the time. One thing I've not been able to find is kid-size latex gloves. I don't know if they make them. I don't know if they don't make them. And there's a couple of things, but I can't find them. There's a couple of things I use for Ruth. Ruth will usually kind of wear a face mask. She also has a face hat. And she has a face mask that has a protective eye cover as well. So she'll usually wear of those 3 things On the beach, we did not wear we did not wear masks, but that's also because the beach, there weren't that many people on the beach. And everybody kind of minded their own business and like wasn't even kind of close. Like when I say not close, like not 6 feet, not 15 feet, maybe 40 or 50 feet away. So it was really easy to social distance. But again, I was in a very residential area and there was no public access to the beach. So unless you had a condo on that beach, or unless you had a friend who had a condo on that beach who let you park in their parking lot, because ain't no public transportation in St. Augustine that I can see, um, then there was no way for someone to access that beach. And again, didn't see any black people at all. Oh, I did when I was leaving. I saw some black cleaners. So, what can I say? Um, I mean, obviously, black people who weren't related to me. I did see my aunt and my cousins, and they're black. So, there's that. But again, guys, my biggest advice to you, if you're going to travel during COVID-19, if you want to do something, think about just even and especially if you've never traveled solo before, and you are planning on doing a solo trip before you move abroad or before you start traveling full time, just to kind of dip your toes in that pool and see how it is, try a solo road trip. I'm telling you guys, and just find some place where you can be with yourself, by yourself. And for my sisters out there who are trying to think of how they are going to make money abroad, how they want to make money, use that weekend or that week that you do that solo road trip to really do some deep brainstorming and thinking about like what your ideal looks like, understanding your why. You guys know I talk about the why. Why are you doing this? Understanding why you want to leave, what you want out of your life. Like, use that time. What brings you joy? Like, all these things are stuff that you need to really understand anyway. Like, regardless of whether you want to move abroad, not move abroad, travel full time, not travel full time, you really do need to know what makes you happy, what gives you joy, and like what you want out of this life. Because if you want to start living an intentional life, and one thing I say again and again to my one-on-one coaching clients is this life is all about being intentional. Like, people are always like, "Oh, Jackie, you got your hands in so much stuff. You're doing so many projects, etc., etc." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's all stuff I want to do. I don't take clients I don't want to take. If I have an idea for an income stream and it's something I truly think I can do and I'm interested in, I go and I figure out how to do it. I learn, I study, I ask questions, I join groups." So it is all possible. Like, ain't nothing special about me in the sense of like you can't be where I am. You want to start a YouTube channel? Just get on start. You got a phone, you got a computer, you got something where you're watching me. So just figure it out. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most high-tech thing, right? Like, start simple. Just add some quality and some value to people's lives, because that's what we're looking for, right? It's all about, especially during this time of COVID-19, it's all about connection and human interaction, and just, even though we're social distancing, right? Like, I'm forming a connection with you guys. I love reading your comments. I love hearing your feedback. Even the haters and the trolls, which I'm like, oh, I guess I made it on YouTube, because I'm starting to get a little bit some negative comments. Well, not necessarily toward me, but toward the whole Blaxit movement, which I can consider myself a part, not a part. I mean, I was exiting before massive amounts of black people knew it was possible, but that's okay. Like, I'm not judging people who want to live like their best life. Everybody should. And to all my fellow Africans who clearly didn't know I was African by some of the comments that they posted, and I think YouTube deleted them because I don't actually delete comments, so YouTube must have deleted some of those comments. But don't you be good judging Black Americans for wanting to lead their best life, particularly when we, and now I'm putting we as in my African hat, when we trying to live and fight for our best life on the continent of Africa as well. So we all Black people, we all in this together. Yes, we have different cultural identities and etc., etc. But come on, guys, like, be better. Definitely, like, be better. Don't hate on no Black person who is trying to reconnect to the continent of Africa, because it truly is a gift and a blessing to know from whence you came. And that is something that I'm very grateful for each and every day. That is something that I instill in Ruth. The fact that she can trace, her ancestry and her lineage to a little town in Ekiti State in Nigeria is a beautiful thing. And that is not a gift that most African Americans have. It was robbed from them. And the fact that they are attempting to reconnect with that which was stolen from me is it's truly like a beautiful thing. Now, I always encourage people, and I've done a video, guys, check it out. If you're going to move abroad, don't move abroad like a colonizer. And I talk about that with my one-on-one clients all the time, and in my course as well. But go forth and live this life, learn, love, live. Just do it. And if you want to take a road trip during COVID-19, go do it, but just be safe. Don't be stupid. Don't be that super spreader. Don't be spreading COVID. Don't be giving COVID. Get tested. So that's another tip right there. Get tested before you go, and get tested when you come back. It's not that hard. Well, president is making it quite hard to get some COVID testing, depending on what state you have. So my next advice for you guys is vote. Make sure you vote. That's the only reason I'm sitting around here in the U.S., good old United States right now. Well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons. Is I'm sure enough going to get in line and I'm going to vote. And it's been a long time since I have voted in person. No, trust, I vote in each and every election because, I'm not that person who's not going to vote, but yet going to be yapping in their mouth about how everybody's bad and it sucks and it sucks. And I got problems with both parties, but come on, guys. Y'all better vote. And not only vote for president, but you better vote all the way down that ballot to each and every candidate, because if you are sitting complaining, running your effing mouth about issues and problems in this government, running your mouth about Kamala Harris and her work as Attorney General in the state of California, and yet you don't know who your Attorney General is in your state or your district attorney is, I'm judging you. I'm judging you hard right now. So vote like your life depended on, because it does. Vote like my life depends on it, because it does. U.S. passport is becoming like the Nigerian passport right now, which is worthless. So unless there's some serious changes, guys, some of our, especially you guys with the Wanderlust, some of us gonna be slowed down a lot for a while now, because some countries actually take the spread of infectious diseases seriously. So anyway, guys, I hope this video was helpful. It was a rant. Sometimes I do. But you guys know I absolutely love you guys. I love connecting with you guys. I love putting myself out to the universe and seeing what comes back. So as I say again and again, you are magical, and your life should be too. And I absolutely love helping Black women live out their dreams, because so often the world tells us that we can't, that we shouldn't, that we're always too busy taking care of somebody else. But guess what? You got to take care of yourself, sister. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you, and nobody should, right? You're in control. And never forget that. Never forget just how wonderful and amazing you are. And remember, if ain't nobody else cheering for you, I'm out here rooting for you to live your best life. And if that's moving abroad, so be it. If it's traveling full-time and moving abroad, so be it. If it's traveling full-time, so be it. If it's staying at home, chilling, watching YouTube, that's okay too. So be blessed. I will see you guys next week in my next video. I'm out.
Hey Black girl, hey, you good? Cause I'm fabulous. I'm a digital nomad and my lifestyle allows my daughter and I to experience new places, culture, foods, and people. Living abroad and or traveling full-time is amazing. It is freedom. I can work from anywhere. I want more Black women to experience the same sort of freedom. I help Black women manifest their dreams of a life abroad or a full-time travel. Are you ready for a life beyond your wildest dreams?